It is Sunday, February 7th. Welcome to our show at a special time. You are watching the very first Super Bowl Sunday show of the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. And it's time to welcome on the Super Bowl Sunday the two MVPs of the American and National Conferences of live streamers. Sorry, cracked myself up. Please welcome, here they are, the stars of our show, Ken and Glenn. And me, a guy named Scott.
Where were you going?
It's the Ken and Glenn show. The Super Bowl because you guys are the conference champions of live streaming. And it's
the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott, where we every week absolutely prove to you that we do not read from copy. we just make it up as we go.
What happened to the teleprompter?
I know the teleprompter went down on me. Sorry.
Hey, Donovan Blanks is in the house.
I was getting ready to say that. I just saw that. How are you?
I spoke to him yesterday. I called him and we were cracking. He's so funny. We were laughing. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Donovan's in not great shape, but he's okay. He's okay. So thank
Donovan,
God
we send our love and prayers, healing, everything that's good your way, brother. We all heard about your accident, and our arms are wrapped around you, wishing you expedient healing.
And Carrie Lynn Carter is in the house. Cindy, you know what? I kind of like this time, guys.
Oh, you do?
8 o'clock at night is late, man. I kind of like this.
Really? For you? Ken, you're a night owl.
I know, but I like this time. I'm just saying.
Well, all right.
I like.
I guess at 3 I'll start watching the Ken and Scott show because I'm damn sure not going to do it.
It's the Ken show.
No, it's the Ken show.
Hey, I've done it before. So
hey, Jay, yeah, it's good to see you. And the great Tony Alessandra introduced us. What are they?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we want to thank our Super Bowl viewers that jumped 4 hours ahead to be with us this afternoon. We simply didn't want to break our streak of delivering an episode of the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott every week, as we do, no matter what, come hell or high water. Sometimes we've been traveling and we did it. Sometimes people haven't been feeling entirely up to snuff and we still did it. And we like to deliver that way. But we also know you want to watch the football game. So, gentlemen, predictions, I think we all unified that we felt like it was going to be the Chiefs today.
It is.
As much as it's tough to bet against Tom Brady, is that right, Scott? Didn't we all? Is Scott frozen?
Scott,
I'm sorry.
You're frozen. Let it go.
The internet gods took me down there.
So are we all saying Chiefs today?
You know, nobody ever went broke betting on Tom Brady, but
right.
I do really believe it's going to be really tough for Tampa today.
What are the
edge is that they are the first home team in the history of the NFL. They're the first home team in the Super Bowl.
I heard a really interesting comment about that, and I tuned in late. It was on Colin Cowherd's show, and he was speaking to a former player, but I never caught the name of who it was. But he was saying, I think it's going to be difficult to anticipate how big of an advantage that's going to be for Tampa to not have to get on a plane, to not have to work out in a strange facility, to not be in a hotel where there's so many fans. You're just going home at night. And one thing he said on the interview that I didn't realize is the night before the game, they will take the teams and put them in different hotels from where they've been for practice. They move them like 30 miles out of town.
Wow.
So that the noise and the hubbub on the, around the stadium doesn't bother them. But they said, so you've been in one hotel, you pack up, you move 30 miles out of town, and then you got to get up early, pack everything up because the flight back home will be after the game, and you go back to and he said, these guys are just going home. It's just another work week for them. And he says, It's going to be interesting to see, how that comfort, and you're in your own locker room, right? You're not even moving things out of your locker. So he said it's really going to be interesting to see what the difference is.
Well, maybe that will be what makes it a tight game.
Hope so.
I do too. I'm not rooting for either team, but I just think the Chiefs will win. But I it's kind of fun sometimes when you're watching a game and you really are rooting for a great game and you don't care who wins.
Who wins?
Yeah.
Although it would be impressive to see a 43-year-old quarterback win yet another Super Bowl, And it would be if they do it. Can I say if? Relax, take it easy. If they win, what it would do is it would be such a testimony to consciousness that this same guy leaves, changes to a different league, a different team, a team that hasn't been to the big dance in quite a while. And what does he do? First season there, he leads them to the dance. That's to me, that's very impressive. And the team he leaves behind has a terrible year.
Being an Indianapolis Colts fan, we hated the Patriots. That was our rivals. That's who we hated. And I realized this year, and because you hated the Patriots, you hated Tom Brady. I'm realizing this year it's more that I didn't like Belichick. I kind of like Brady now that he's playing for somebody else.
Right.
So why did you explore the why? Why didn't you like Belichick?
Brady to me does not seem arrogant, and there is a condescension and arrogance about Belichick. I mean, you can't argue. The guy's a phenomenal coach. I mean, his record speaks for itself. But there's just an arrogance about Belichick that I find off-putting.
One of my favorite things to ask people is if they find me condescending, and then I go, "Oh, I'm sorry." That's when you talk down to people. Speaking of, that's just wrong.
Can we go there?
Can we go there like right now? Let's do it early, like we do every week.
Every week, exactly this time at exactly 8 minutes into our show.
Yeah,
we jump right into.
And boy, do I fresh on my mind.
That's just wrong.
I didn't mean to overlap there. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, it's fresh on my mind because we had an that's just wrong yesterday that was very costly. Some unconscious person. See how I went there? I see how I toured through terms like turd face, low life, and I came up with person. Some person walked up behind my mother, my 82-year-old mom, who was out walking her dog Zelda. And this person who had their dog, instead of going around to the other side of the street, walked right up behind my mom. Mom did not see them there, startled her and the dog when they got right up on them. The dog, darted, and my mom got knocked to the ground, and she fell onto the pavement and cracked her skull. She had a golf ball on her head, and she's such a trooper. She just shredded her hand, her knees as well, but they were a little bit protected from clothes. She called us, and I went rushing over there with Carolyn. We live 5 minutes away, and I think I did the 5-minute drive in 3. I had already decided that if I get pulled over, if a cop comes after, I'm going to roll down my window and just gesture, as in, come on, just you're following me, because I was not going to stop for anyone. And it occurred to me when I went into the house, I didn't know what I was going to see, but Mom called us, and you could hear she was in a great deal of pain with tears and so forth. And I realized that until yesterday, I've had 61 years having never seen my mom bleed. And I never thought about it. And it occurred to me when I saw, and there was blood everywhere. When I saw her, I thought, oh my gosh, I've never seen you bleed. And it was really upsetting. Well, we did what we could to get her cleaned up and get dirt out of the wounds, and her head was so messed up and ballooned up. We took her to the doctor, and so that's just wrong about it. Donovan, we're praying for you as well, brother. But I want to show you that sometimes, you know, how we take something that's just wrong and we make it a right. Well, we went over there this morning, and I said, you look like you've gone 15 rounds with, or 12 rounds, I said, with Rocky Balboa. And she went and grabbed something and put it on her hand and said, take a picture of me. So this is my mother about an hour and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
Look at the boxing glove.
The boxing glove. Oh.
Look
So
at
that
her
is-
hand, how shredded her. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
that skin got all ripped back, but
Good Lord.
the ball that was on her right eyebrow, it has shrunken down considerably, but her whole eye has blood in it, and you can see how bruised up it is. She ate the ground so hard. And we went back and looked at the spot where she fell today. There was still blood on the sidewalk, and we looked and realized that where she had hit, which was a very rough part of the street, but she hit about 1 foot away from the curb. Thank you, God, for small favors, because if her head drops into the curb, that's quite a different deal.
Wow.
And it was a terrible accident, but I'm grateful that Mom was in good enough spirits today to go fetch a boxing glove. So, Mama, I love you. You're a champ. And I love that you had a sense of humor. And under it, she wrote a caption. She wrote, "It's your badass mama."
Oh, my
Look
God.
what Sterling said.
Sterling wrote, "She's a
badass."
badass." Yeah, that's what the caption said. She said, "It's your badass mama." So
Wow.
I love you, Mom. Heal up.
Wow.
Heal up. I'm grateful that you're okay.
Did she have to have stitches?
No, they put the what are
Like-
the ones that pinch it together? What are those called?
Hate
Butterfly strips?
Yeah, the
or-
butterfly. Yeah, they put
Yeah.
several butterfly bandages to close it up. Basically, exactly what they would have done with Rocky.
Jeez.
And tape. They put tape across there,
Wow.
and the skin is just open, and they wrap it up, and and they said take the wrapping off after the first day to let it breathe a little bit, which is what she's doing. Anyway, Mom turned to "that's just wrong" to a "that's just right."
Wow.
How about you
Wow.
guys?
Did
Oh,
the
I've
person
got-
help her at all, or was
I'm
stopping-
sorry.
Did the person that caused the accident?
They did walk her back to her house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was just an unconscious moment, and that's one of the reasons we have to be more preemptive and have a little bit of forethought in our lives, so that we're not just doing only what we want to do, but sometimes we stop and go, you know what? Walking up behind that elderly woman with her dog, probably not my best bet. So why
Right.
don't I go around and go to the side?
It's,
Yeah, people don't they don't think. I have one, and I love relating customer service stuff in my that's just wrongs, because Scott is the customer service god.
I know where you're going with that because I saw your live stream.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched you tell the story, and so I was gonna. I'm glad you're bringing it up because I was gonna ask you about that.
Did you watch it, Glenn?
Your live stream, which one?
Last night.
No, I did not see last night's.
So Thursday.
Were you ranting about something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was a classic Ken.
That's-
Right? It was,
Well, your rants are those are the best.
yeah, Glenn. I was going to say that Kim was going to have to enter some numbers to get us to talk to him.
I would be like, thanks for stopping by, Scott.
Hey, Scott, I know this much. A ranting Ken is a happy Ken.
Oh,
Oh,
he had that anger in his eyes and that curl. He couldn't keep the smile coming from the.
So Thursday, Jill comes into my office and she goes, "Why does my Zoom say I can only go for 40 minutes on a Zoom?" And I go, I don't know. And she said, "Well, it keeps saying that I'm on your account." And I'm like, "Let me go look." And I log in and I'm like, "Yeah, you're on my account. You should be able to Zoom as long as you want to Zoom." And she's like, "Well, it says 40 minutes." And I go and I'm like, "Oh, it says it's basic for some reason. Let me click the pro level." And it was grayed out. It wouldn't go. I couldn't upgrade her. I'm like, "This is stupid. I'll pay double. I don't care. I'll pay you $32 a month. Who gives a, like, I just upgrade her account. She's got a big meeting on Monday." So they're like, "No, it won't work." And I'm like, "Well, son of a." So I'm like, "Well, do I delete her from my account and then just set her up a new one? Is that going to cause a problem? I don't know what to do." And there's a toll-free number at the top of the website. Perfect. That's Zoom customer service. They're such a great company. I'm just going to call them. Scott knows the story. So, but I'm just going to call them and they'll work it out for me and I'll charge me double. I set her up, whatever. I call the number and it's a computer that answers and it says, "Please enter your Zoom account number," or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh, there it is." And I enter it. And then it says, "Thank you. Now please enter your stream code." I'm like, "What the hell's a stream code?" And I'm looking, I see the passcode and I'm like, "Passcode, enter the passcode." "No, that's the wrong stream code. Please enter your account number again." I'm like, okay, so I have to go through this. Takes me 5 minutes. Finally, I scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. And I'm like, "There's a stream code. Show." I'm like, "There it is." And I enter it. And finally it goes, "Thank you. We've looked up your account and you do not qualify to speak to a human. Please go work with our chat bot. Robot. Go work with the chat bot. Not even a chat human, a chat bot." And I'm like, this is bullshit. I mean, I was like, I'm going to throw my computer through the window. I was so, because it's the computer's fault. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that wouldn't be very smart. So anyway, then I find this, that I already have this other service. I don't need Zoom and this is better. And it's included in Google Apps and it's called Google Meet. And Zoom just lost a customer because I called Google and Google actually answered my call. And I talked to some dude. I'm like, "Hey man, I see this thing." And yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I'm over it. I'm done with Zoom. I will never use Zoom again. I'll tell everybody with ears to get away from Zoom, get on Google Meet. It's much better. It's faster. It's easier. And you don't, and you actually get to talk to a person. They appreciate you as a customer. It blows me away that companies, now let me back up. I've had Zoom since its inception. The first week they were out, they called me and told me, "This is new software. We think you'd like it better. What do you use now?" I said, "I use GoToMeeting if I ever use it. I hate GoToMeeting. Oh, this is better. Try this." I've been paying them since 2013. So 8 years now, and I'm not allowed to talk to a human. That's just wrong. Not, "Ooh, that's just wrong." That's just
Yeah. That's bull crap.
Yes. I mean, it ticked me off. I don't know. How do you guys feel about things like that?
It's infuriating and ridiculous. And somewhere that puts me off on a tangent, as you might imagine, too.
Yeah, let's go. I want to hear your tangent.
Let's hear the tangent.
My tangent, this is not my ooh, that's just wrong. Well, I'll do my ooh, but that's just wrong first.
We're not pressed for time, kids.
Here's my ooh, that's just wrong. I was sitting there minding my own business, doing my weekend side hustle in customer service for Zoom. And this
guy named Ken.
This guy.
God, that's good, dude.
Oh my God.
These customers. No, years ago,
No, I don't like it. I love it. I love it.
So years ago, a buddy of mine in Indianapolis, who is a cosmetic surgeon, was elected as the president of the American Academy of Cosmetic Surgery. And they had never had an external speaker before. It had always been other doctors, other surgeons. And he asked if I would speak to him. So I keynoted their convention of cosmetic surgeons. And in the research for the speech, one of the fascinating things I found out is you can do your undergraduate degree and your medical school and your internship and your residency and become a doctor and your surgical specialty, go through that entire process and never take a course on bedside manner.
Yep.
Never learn anything about communication.
Wow.
And so when I'm talking to them, they were saying one of the big problems was we get sued for malpractice and we do the surgery right. And I said, the problem is it's not about your technique. It's about your interpersonal skills. It's about your customer experience, your patient experience. So we had a great talk about that. And then it struck me, and I started doing some research. At most, not all, but most of the major universities in America, you can get an MBA and never take a course that has anything to do with customers. And so what we have trained is an entire generation of leadership of business who look at balance sheets and EBITDA and stuff like that and never ever think about or communicate about the customer. And it's just wrong. I mean, and so you get these folks sitting there at Zoom saying, wow, we'll save X number of dollars if we limit our customer support to this many people.
Yeah.
And they never do the other side of the equation. They never do the side of the equation that, gosh, we might lose some customers. I was speaking to a Fortune 500 company one time and having a conversation with a CFO. And then he said, well, I'm going to miss your speech because I don't have anything to do with customers. What?
Wow.
Where do you think the finances come from that you manage as the chief financial officer if customers aren't spending money with you? And it just drives me crazy, Ken, like what you went through, because it's stepping over dollars to pick up nickels. It's crazy because businesses lose customers that way.
Scott, if you watched my whole thing last night, I said the only other time in 8 years. Now I still haven't done the math. What's 12 times 15 times 8? I'll do it right now. But in 8 years,
well, 10 times 15 is 150. 2 times 15 is 30 more, so that's 80. That's 180 times what?
It's $1,440 is what I've spent. Approximately, right? So here's the thing. I've called Zoom. I've been on the phone one other time with Zoom. One other time, and that's when they freaking called me to sell me. I need, for the first time in the history of having Zoom, I needed a person.
Yeah.
Their stupid robot thing didn't work. I kept typing in the problem and it was like, is it one of these 3 things? And I clicked this. Nope, that's not it. So, and it was just a cycle of bullshit. And I was like, all right, you know what? I can't take. That's when I said, all right, I'm going to just call their number. I didn't even notice the number until I was already pulling my brains off the wall from my head exploding. And then when it said, it literally says, we're sorry, but your account, with your account type, you do not qualify to speak to a live customer service.
I love you all the time. I love you all the time, Ken, but I have to say I have a special affinity for you when you're upset. It's just beautiful.
Dude, that sent me over the freaking edge. I was like, what in the who? Like, I can't, and I'm going to tweet about it, and I'm going to tag Zoom and Google. I'm going to say, congratulations at Zoom, you dumbasses, because you just lost a customer, and it is my life's mission now to make sure that everybody switches to freaking Google Meet because it's better than you guys are. So anyway,
That being said, here's today's theme music. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. Right? What is the song for the football?
that's it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes da 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 da. That's the NBA. So,
Wrong sport.
wrong sport was burned in. I was like, oh wait, no, that's wrong sport.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Well,
Yeah.
it's weird. I started out going dun 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 dun, but then that took me into a Christmas song. Dun 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 dun, and I thought, no, that's not it.
And it took me to the William Tell Overture.
Oh
What
my
is this song? What is the football song I'm thinking of? Maybe it's from Fox Television.
No, the football. That was the football song. What you were doing?
The early part of it was, I guess.
Yeah.
What are we on today? Is it on CBS or Fox or what's it on?
CBS today.
It is CBS. Does that mean Tony's? Does that mean Tony's
Yes.
doing the call?
Tony and Jim Nance? Tony Romo and Jim.
Tony is calling the Super Bowl. Nice. There it is.
Yeah, that's
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, we're gonna get dinged. I gotta turn it off.
Okay, get it out of there.
11 seconds. That I think that's that we should be okay. But that's it. You were right. You were right.
Being right is highly overrated, especially regarding insignificant stuff like that.
When you started singing that, I thought of the William Tell Overture, and then I thought of one of the best definitions I've ever heard of. Do you know the real definition of culture? It's hearing the William Tell Overture and not thinking of the Lone Ranger.
Yes. Yes. You know what else is a form of maturity? A form of maturity is when you can watch Ken rant and not bring up Peter Finch in Network. Because I don't think his rant was any better than Ken's.
It wasn't.
I think Ken's rants are Oscar worthy. I
You
really do.
you missed it
I'm not
last
going to
night.
take it anymore.
Do you remember that, Ken, or did you see it? I know Scott saw it.
I've seen it.
As
Yes,
the movie reviewer.
we did. We watched it just a few weeks ago, didn't we?
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. We put that on. Would we get flagged for that?
No. We wouldn't get flagged. That I
Yeah.
don't think that's. too
Let's
long ago.
show like 15 seconds of that. Peter Finch in Network with his big Oscar winning moment when he says, I can't take it. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Speaking of Oscars,
One of only two. There's only been two, I think,
What?
posthumous Oscars.
oh, really?
Peter Finch and Heath Ledger, I think, are the only two.
Oh,
I'm not
wow.
positive, but I think that's right.
You know, this week, since we last spoke, gentlemen, Jared Leto was nominated for a Golden Globe for The Little Things.
For the movie you were in.
Yeah,
Oh, really? Whoops!
Yep. which I thought was really cool.
Wow!
Are you
Wow!
playing Peter Finch? And I want you to all just imagine Ken Walls receiving his Oscar.
Hey,
He's
Scott,
very
I got
popular today, Scott.
it.
I've got the airplane mode turned on, and it's still going through.
I got to teach you how to turn that off on your Mac.
You know what's cool? I love that I've
Phone on airplane mode that it would.
No,
shut that.
it'll still come through.
I
on your
love
Mac.
that I have sat right next to that stone bridge with you, Scott.
Yes, sir, you have. Matter of fact, we were in the M last night, and I almost took a picture of the craps table, but it was pretty crowded last night. So
Was it really?
yeah, I was very surprised.
Wow.
I mean, everybody was masked and all that, but yeah, I'm
Were
like
you
I'm
at the
doing
steakhouse?
this radio thing. So,
Were you at the steakhouse?
no, we went. Matter of fact, Tammy and I sat in the same chairs that Glenn and I sat in and had a drink.
Oh,
And we were on our way home. There's a new restaurant over here. You know, if you keep going, like think of where I live, and you drive past where you used to work and you keep going. You don't turn left on St. Rose, but you keep going. There's a new restaurant that's in an apartment complex, believe it or not.
what?
And I never heard of it. We had friends said you got to try it out, so we went there and had a great time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When you started mentioning where Ken worked, did you watch? Because I'm pretty sure he just threw up in his own mouth.
Yeah.
Is that what just happened, Ken?
I have acid reflux.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So why don't we show
Peter Finch?
yeah.
Do it.
Or this could be Ken at work.
Huh?
So here's Ken when he's disappointed in the way a company has treated him.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go
You've got
out
to
live?
get mad.
67.
Say,
I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta.
I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the
Sounds familiar to me.
Charles Coachman still loves Faye.
Scott, you're muted.
Oh yeah, you're muted.
Boy, you could take that script and produce it today, and it would still be about spot on,
It'd be very timely, wouldn't it?
wouldn't it? And I would say
Yeah.
to Charles Coachman, my friend Charles, we'll have a conversation about Faye Dunaway.
So who do we have chiming in today, Keno?
We got a bunch of people.
Oh, there's Rex Sykes. Hey, Rex. Nice to see you.
Hey Rex, Tom Gavin, Mark,
Ernest is here.
There you
Mark-
go.
you're more than welcome to, Mark. Go right ahead.
It'll be crickets.
Won't be with me on there.
How can we possibly have Justin? How can we pull Justin away from Clubhouse?
I don't know. Well, I don't think he's still here. I think he probably left.
He might have done a drive-by viewing.
Yeah.
Donovan, how are you feeling today, brother? Look at it. He's chiming in like everything's fine.
I know. I'm blown away. It's
He's
amazing.
got busted bones all over the place, and he's like, it makes me think of John Belushi. It's like, talk about a cat who doesn't feel sorry for himself.
You want to hear what's funny? He's telling me as I'm talking to him, he said last March he was sick and it was it was messing with his mind and he works with Jerry Eisenhower and he says he sends Jerry a message and puts it on Facebook or something. I just heard that my job is no longer relevant with you or something like that.
It was phased out or something.
Yeah, it's been, yeah. And so he says, and Jerry calls him and goes, would you get the hell off of Facebook and get some sleep? What is wrong with you?
You mean Clubhouse?
Huh?
You said Facebook. Did you mean Clubhouse?
No. This was last year. He was
okay.
posting on Facebook that Jerry's the best guy he's ever worked with, and he's really, sad to hear that his job's come to an end. Jerry's like, I never said anything about that. What do you get off of Facebook and get some sleep? It's going to your head. And so when I was talking to Donovan yesterday, Jerry texted me right while I was on the phone. I said, dude, Jerry just texted me. And I go, I'm going to send Jerry a message and say, wow, I just heard that you fired Donovan. And so Donovan goes, yeah, no, put on there that you heard that my job is no longer, I forget the word he used, but it was funny. And so here, I have the text pulled up. I said, oh, obsolete, that his job, I said, he just told me that you said his job is obsolete. And Jerry and Donovan and I are laughing our butts off. Jerry responds, there he goes again out in left field.
Your former job shouldn't end as a result of the latter.
Of the latter.
That is
Too
funny.
soon? Oh,
Serious.
I'm just, Donovan, it's terrible because, I know you know this, but people fall off ladders from lower. I heard you fell from like 15 feet. People fall from half that distance, and that's the end. It's over with. So blessings upon you, my friend. I'm so glad that it's only broken bones.
Yeah.
And I've heard you've got another surgery scheduled, and you'll be staying in Houston. Oh, our love with you as you're down there in Houston, brother.
He got yelled at. He had a couple of surgeries yesterday or Friday, and then yesterday he was working from the hospital bed, and he got yelled.
He's such a trooper. It doesn't surprise me.
He sent me a note. He's already starting to write a program on safety.
Yeah,
Lighter safety using his experience. And it's like,
that's what a champion does.
Just heal first. Just take it easy. It's all right.
But a champion doesn't cry about their situation. They think about how they can use it to the advantage of other people, and maybe others can be spared.
Like here's an example.
I mean, that's Donovan. I just love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for those of you who weren't here for the first part of this, that is my mother, Barbara Morshower. There she is, and she has her boxing gloves on, and she was showing that she's fighting back from the accident she had yesterday when she fell to the pavement and cracked the side of her head. So she's a trooper, and she had a sense of humor. And I got to tell you, we are big on sense of humor in our family. And I think having a sense of humor can do a lot for us. Did we just get requested for picks? What was that?
Yeah, from Justin.
Yeah, Justin, we all three feel like Kansas City will find a way to prevail.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with rooting for them. I'm rooting for a good game, and I think it'd be great if Brady won the game. But
I'm rooting for them.
Oh, you are rooting for the Bucks, but you don't think it's going to go that way.
I'm rooting for Kansas City.
Oh, you're actually rooting for KC.
Yeah. I'm rooting for anybody that's playing against Brady.
Okay. Well, that's certainly open-minded of you.
I mean, if the Browns were playing, I would again.
And don't you wish they were? I do. I wish the Cleveland Browns were playing in the Super Bowl.
No,
the only thing I'm going to wish for today, I'm going to wish for Carolyn to bring me a chili dog at some point during the ball game. She just overheard it. She hasn't said a word. Has not said a word. Downstairs, she hears Carolyn bring me a chili dog. She just yelled up, "Fat chance." She said, "You wish."
That's funny.
Hey, get your own damn. Go get your own damn chili dog.
Chili dog.
Go get your own damn chili dog. Go to the DQ.
Justin says yes, he agrees on the Chiefs. Did I hear that someone made like some outrageous bet on?
Yeah, I was
Brady?
just going to ask you if you'd heard that.
What was it?
Like
3 million,
I think it was, and it's the guy that's the mattress guy in out of Houston, Mattress Mac.
He put $3 million on Tom Brady. What is the spread?
Yeah. I haven't seen what it is this morning. It was
I
4.
predicted Chiefs by 7,
Wow.
but I don't know what the line is. The line has to be the Chiefs' favorite, isn't it?
Yeah. Hang
It-
on.
So right before
What is the spread
started
of today's
the show, I got a
Super Bowl
text.
game? I'm sorry, bud.
Right before we started the show, I was telling you guys, I'll tell everybody else, my 15-year-old daughter got a text message from Shaquille O'Neal's 16-year-old son telling her that
Minus 3.5. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, Chiefs minus 3.5.
so what's
Okay.
that mean? I don't understand that.
That means that Kansas City is favored to win the game, and they have to win by more than 3.5 points for you to win the bet.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So you could bet on Tampa Bay. You could bet on them, and they could lose the game, and you can still win the bet. Because if they lose the game by a field goal only, if they lose by 3, you still win your bet.
So okay. But so if Kansas City wins by 1 field goal, you don't win your bet. If you bet,
You bet on
That's
Kansas
correct.
City,
If you're
you'll
betting
lose.
on Kansas City, you didn't win by enough, so you would
you
win the
lose
game and
all
lose
of
your.
it. Like
You
don't
would
even
win.
get
You
some
would
of it?
win. You would win the game and lose the bet.
Ah,
That's why
wow.
they call it a plus minus. So, for example, to bet Tampa Bay, they would say plus 3.5.
Wow.
So you're betting Tampa Bay, and you've got a 3.5 point cushion.
Gittimer's calling it by 3 touchdowns. Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty ballsy there. That's
Yeah, and Robert in his post here is correct. The mattress guy is known for making these big bets, but the other thing that he did is say if you buy a mattress this weekend and Tampa wins, then your mattress is free.
holy crap.
So he offset it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm sure their sale is,
Paul.
you know,
Paul played in the NFL. He played for Houston.
Wow.
What's he know? Paul, no. I'm taking no, Paul. Go cook something for your wife again, Paul, and post it on Facebook. I hopefully they're laughing. His wife is always posting these gorgeous dishes of food that Paul makes for her all the time. And I'm like, I mean, beautiful. Like, it's like I went from the NFL into being a chef. And so I'm like, I posted on one she posted earlier. I said, I sure hope my wife doesn't see all of these things, that Paul keeps doing for you. He said, I play for the Oilers. What's a Super Bowl?
I don't know if I told you boys, Scott and I were at the same Super Bowl, the last one that was played in Los Angeles in Pasadena, California, which was January 30th or 31st, 1993, 31st. And the Cowboys defeated the Buffalo Bills that day, 52-17. 10 years prior to that, I was also in Pasadena watching John Riggins have a huge second half against the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl. And that was some sort of show. So I've been blessed to see both of them in the same stadium.
man. And that's the first time I've been to 2, but the first one was the one that the same one that we attended.
Right. Which one was your second?
You were wearing a blue cowboy shirt, weren't you? Was it?
We'll be back with more psychic predictions with Scott McCain.
The second one I went to, Miami. Colts beat the Bears.
Nice.
Peyton wins his first. So that was so cool to get
There's
to
nothing
see.
like seeing your team win a Super Bowl
Yeah,
game.
see, when I went the first time, my late wife, one of her friends in the licensing business was the head of NFL licensing. And so he made it possible for us to to go to that one, and but I didn't have a dog in the hunt. You know, it was just great to be there. I'm one of the biggest Eagles fans in the world. And as we were going, they said, "Oh, there's a concert in the parking lot. It's Glenn Fry." Oh, what?
Wow.
We ran up there, and we were literally standing up against the stage for Glenn Fry, and it was just a spectacular day.
Wow.
I'd never been to the Rose Bowl before. It's unreal how beautiful it is.
And come on, look at the backdrop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just sitting there at the foothills of the mountains. It's gorgeous.
It's unbelievably beautiful. And not, I mean, we were, I don't know, 5 rows from the top of the bowl, but it was still unlike the stadiums of today that, you've got a level and then you got all the boxes and it is a bowl, and I mean, even you could sit at the top and it's still a good seat. Still was pretty cool.
Yeah, we were in the end zone probably about 8 rows up, and it was the end zone that Dallas excessively utilized that day. So, including Alvin Harper's spike up over the goalpost, it was right in front of us. And those are freeze frames you'll just never forget.
Wow.
We even saw Leon Letts showboating drop of the football when it got slapped away by BB.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
I mean, he was at the goal line and he would have scored, making it the highest scoring Super Bowl in history. And instead he wasn't paying attention and got the ball slapped away.
And Michael Jackson performed. I've been back to I got to go to a Rose Bowl one time, the actual Rose Bowl game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, years ago when Purdue played Washington in the Rose Bowl, and that was just such a great experience. Just as they say, the granddaddy of them all was great. Hey, and that's something we were talking about before we went on. And so if Tom Brady wins today, and we're all predicting that he won't, but if Tom Brady wins today,
is he
the GOAT, greatest of all time when it comes to the NFL?
No. Ben Roethlisberger. Ben's got 4 or 5 Super Bowl rings, man.
I'd love to know what Paul
does he have,
Williams
4?
about as a former player.
Huh? Yeah,
I'd love to know
Paul, what do you think? Paul
As a former
probably
player.
got mad at me and went and cooked his wife something. I'm kidding. Paul's a great guy.
I don't know.
Colin even says he's the GOAT if he loses. Yeah.
Yeah, my dear friend Mojgan is such a Brady worshiper, and I, you got to give it to guy. But listen, overachievers always attract the haters.
What was the?
It's just the nature of it,
That's
So
true.
the fact that he's got haters tells a story itself. It tells you he's great.
Yes, that is that.
Nobody ever bothers to hate a loser. Think about it. What's the point? Don't they
Right.
already have it hard enough? Like they really need our hatred on top of their already crappy life.
Right. Right.
It's the winners we love to hate.
Well, some people are hated just because they're dicks too. So
Well, that's true. And that's why. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say to Paul, Paul said, what's the question? Is Brady the GOAT? Is he the greatest of all time? Does he have to win today to be the greatest of all time? Roethlisberger has 2, by the way.
is that it?
Yeah.
Jeez. Loser. Ben.
Um,
Retire.
I'm
But
still
Ben's not as
thinking.
many as Peyton,
Yeah.
I'm
Ben's
still
one of
thinking
many-
the greatest coach of all time might have to be Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
Vince, maybe Belichick. Throw in a little dash of Tom Landry in there somewhere. Tom's buried about a quarter of a mile from my front door.
Really?
Random fact, a quarter of a mile from
Who
my
is?
front door. Tom Landry,
Wow.
head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. His resting place is right around the corner. We live within.
Yeah. Paul. Amen. Amen. I agree. Take a hit like freaking like Terry Bradshaw. Like
Yes.
poor Terry can't even form a sentence anymore. He's been hit so many times.
And you know who else used to show up that looked like he was like just brought in fresh off the battlefield every week? You guys are old enough. Maybe you might not be, Ken. I know Scott will know this. Do you remember Dandy Don Meredith?
Oh, the best.
And
Oh,
Don Meredith, he wasn't playing football if he didn't have a broken nose.
Yeah.
And he had war written all over his face every weekend. And that's, you know what? And it used to turn John Madden up. He was like, they're not playing football if they don't have some blood on their uniform.
So true. So true.
Madden said that if you didn't have blood or mud on you, you weren't playing football.
I mean, Paul's right. I mean, they have really sissified the game in a lot of ways. I mean, the quarterbacks do not get hit. Now it's like you hit a quarterback too hard, you could be suspended. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, and I know it's football Sunday, but I mean, it's kind of like if you look at the NBA now with the 3-point line, and then think back to Pete Maravich, who was shooting it from half court, making it.
And still only getting 2 points for it.
Still getting 2 points. I mean, he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves because
Pistol Pete, baby. Pistol
Pete at LSU. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves because, you know, it didn't matter how long the shot was, it was 2 points. And I, been an Indiana Pacers fan. Reggie Miller hit a lot of 3-pointers, but it was also during the time that you just didn't take that many. It was unusual to take a 3-pointer, where now it's just, get across the half court line and fire it up there, man. It's a different game.
Paul was a QB with the Oilers. He was hurt all the time.
Did you back up Warren Moon? Was that during the Warren Moon days, or I'm just curious if when I'm trying to remember.
He was on my show. I forget what year Paul said he was.
So then Paul must have played all the way back when they played in the Astrodome, possibly.
Would have.
So.
Before they became the Tennessee Titans.
Yes. Yeah. Paul, did you play in the Astrodome?
I played Steve McNair in a game of pool in Nashville one time.
And beat him.
And beat him.
Yes. Get out.
Yeah, he did. He beat him.
Was he?
Yes. One of the backup secret.
I love it.
Love
it.
Did you play in the Astrodome, Paul? Trying to find out. Randall Reeder makes. So tell us the story about how you set him down, Steve McNair, how you set his ass down after polishing
I did not
the pool table with him.
He was with one of his offensive linemen, and this is the biggest dude I've ever met in my life. He was like 6'8" and 700 pounds. I don't know. I mean, he was huge. And I met that dude. I shook his hand and I felt like a little rag doll. And so Steve McNair was actually cool. I bought him a beer and he autographed a $50 bill that I had and I beat him in a game of pool, and then they just kind of went on. There's a bar in Nashville. It used to be there. I don't drink anymore, but it used to be, I think it was like 7 different floors, and each floor had a different theme to it. Like one was the pool hall, and then you go up and it was like dance music, and then a country bar on the next floor. And I forget what all the floors were, but it had a different theme on each floor, but it was the same bar. It was pretty cool. I don't know what it was called, but yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's kind of an impressive story that you whipped. He did play in the Astrodome. Yeah, that you whipped Steve McNair's butt in a game of pool.
He's dead now.
I know his girlfriend killed him.
Yeah. And he was married.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girlfriend said, I've had enough of this. So
yeah.
She invited him to go away permanently, which is awful. I want to share a story with you guys. Go ahead, Scotto.
No, I was just going to respond real quickly that, it always gets me when you see about a murder suicide. Why don't you just, if you're going to take somebody out, take yourself out first. If you're going to go anyway, just take yourself out first. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in favor of,
No, I know. I
life.
agree.
Like, to shoot someone else and ruin their life, knowing that you're going to shoot yourself, it just seems, it's devastating to so many people.
Yeah,
it
but
is.
then again, at that time, they're not
Right. They're not thinking.
really firing on all 8 mental cylinders. So,
Yeah.
don't they make an 8-cylinder vehicle anymore?
I'm a 4-banger myself. I don't know.
Maybe banger wasn't the best choice of verbiage there.
Enough about history.
Speaking of banger, I saw an old girlfriend of mine about 2 weeks ago. No, I'm kidding. So I want to tell you a story.
Oh my God.
A true story from my dad, God rest his soul. It's one of my dad's greatest stories. My dad was a mediocre bowler. I mean, really mediocre. But he happened to go out bowling one night by himself at a place called the Circle Bowl here in Dallas. And it was one of the few late night spots. This is back in the early 60s. And there was a guy there at the bowling alley who was the bowling alley king. And they had plaques. They had banners with this guy's name all over them. And, multiple 3. There it is. Sandra, that's funny. So he's got multiple 300 games. He's probably bowled a 300 on most of the lanes there. He's really known. And this guy has 2 women, groupies, if you will, that are with him bowling. And dad is on the next lane over and he's alone. So this guy, wanting to play the game of Big Dicitis, invites my dad to bowl with them. And my dad knows him, and the guy doesn't know that he knows him. So he knows what the guy's doing, that he wants to show him up. And my dad didn't care because he thought one of the ladies was kind of cute. So he thought, he's probably not going to be with both those women. Who knows, and he really didn't care about the game. However, because he knew he was bowling against this guy who is world class, he said, son, the angels possessed me that night. And he said he bowled the best game of his life. I believe he bowled a 235, but what's more significant is he bowled the 235 while this guy who routinely bowls 260, 280, he bowls a 235 and the guy has an off night and bowls like a 202. So my dad beat him. Now, here's the thing. That was in the first game. So my dad starts taking off his shoes. And the guy's furious. Dad starts undoing his bowling shoes, and the guy walks over and he goes, wait a minute. He goes, you're not done, are you? And my dad couldn't have scripted a better response. He looked up and he goes, yeah, my game's off tonight. He beat him and he walked away.
That's awesome.
Wow. Isn't that classic? That's actually my dad. That's my favorite story from my dad, that he beat the best guy at the lanes and then told him, no, I'm sorry, dude, man, my game's off tonight.
That's awesome.
And he followed through with it. I mean, he went ahead and put on his regular shoes and walked away. And the guy to that day wondered, who the hell was that? So he really believed Dad's line about his game being off. Little did he know it was the best game he'd ever bowled in his life.
Wow.
I think what this teaches us is we don't have to tell everything to everybody, right? Every so often, if someone thinks, oh my God, who was that? It's okay. Let them wonder.
Yeah.
Let them wonder. You don't have to tell everybody everything. I am telling you guys, however, and our audience, that here at the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott, we have a special guest next week. It has already been secured, and it's a secret guest. Even my buddies Ken and Scott don't know who it is, and shh, I'm not gonna tell them. But I have.
That's just wrong.
But they've been put on notice that we have a very special guest. And by the way, the guest was available to come on today. They were available and told me they would. And I said, not on Super Bowl Sunday, because we're not going to have enough people watching. It would still be great, but let's wait and let's do it next Sunday. So, Scott, Ken, my gift to you will take place next Sunday. And please don't ask, because I'm not going to tell you.
So, Glenn, who is it?
Did you notice he even used the pronoun they, so he wouldn't give away even if it's
I
male
know.
or female?
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's the third time I've heard this now, and he is not giving away the gender.
Daddy ain't budging.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Scott has somebody
That's
lined
exciting.
well soon.
Scott
Yeah.
has somebody lined up?
Yeah, we don't have a date. We'll set it not next Sunday, but the Sunday after if he's available. I was talking to my great pal Kenny Aronoff, and Kenny was named by Rolling Stone magazine as one of the top 100 drummers that ever lived. He is probably the only guy that has played with Smashing Pumpkins and Celine Dion.
Oh, wow.
How do you spell his last name?
Aronoff.
Found it. You want me to pop him up here on the
Is he a Jewish man?
Yes.
It sounds like a Jewish name.
Yes. And Kenny
What is
has
his
I'm sorry?
first name?
Kenny.
Kenny Aronoff.
Uh-huh.
Aronoff. Do you want me to share a video with everybody?
Sure.
That was a little Kenny Aronoff tribute right there.
What's going on there, man?
He said a tribute. Oh my God. That is funny, dude. Ready?
Yeah, let's
Here we
see it.
go. I haven't seen this one. I don't know what this one
Whoa.
is.
Hi, I'm Kenny Aronoff. I play Evan's Head. And this is my new heavyweight snare head that I love playing in the studio and live.
I didn't know that it was a commercial, but
There's some great ones of Kenny, like in a live show with Smashing Pumpkins. He's on all the. He was for many years. He was John Mellencamp's drummer.
here's Mellencamp medley.
Yeah,
Man, there's some.
go to. I saw her standing there. Like, let's see if that's the one I think it is.
This.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not it.
No.
There is. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's part of Kenny's speech where he plays little segments of.
Which one?
The one, yeah. That's. I don't want to get us in trouble by playing music, but he does a thing when he's giving a speech, and it is a medley of the songs where he is the drummer, and they were number one songs.
Which one should I do?
The one I was looking to see. I mean that. I don't know that one. Huh.
Well, all of them are super long videos too.
Yeah. There is a not Kurt. Yeah, now we're getting to other drummers.
Yeah.
There is a great one. I'll find it before Kenny is on. But Kenny's written a book called Sex, Drums, and Rock and Roll. And
Oh wow.
he tells the story of laying,
Glenn checked out. Oh, there it is.
I thought you still had the deal up. Sorry about that.
That's all
no,
right.
there was just we'll have him tell it. He tells it better than I. But he's laying on the floor as a kid watching the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and he's just mesmerized, and he says to his mom, "That's what I want to do. I want to play drums like with them."
Wow.
And his mom says, "Well, we can get you drums, honey. We'll do that, but they already have a drummer." And he says, "I don't care. I want to play drums with them." And the end of his speech is the Grammy Awards, where they are honoring the Beatles, and Paul and Ringo are singing, and Kenny is right behind him on drums.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And he is just, and the nicest guy. I mean, just the greatest guy, nicest guy. Yeah, Charles, he plays with Fogerty now. And
Where's he from?
he's from Massachusetts. Matter of fact, he grew up across the street from where Norman Rockwell lived.
Wow. Very
I
cool.
actually, true story, had one of the Beatles at my house in Dallas, and I have a photo, and I just sent it. I just sent it to Ken.
Oh my gosh, which one?
That's what I was digging up, and if you'll share it, Ken,
Give me a second. Wow.
this is it right at the house.
Hang on. Let me get the thing.
You did get it right, didn't you?
I did. I did.
This
I've
is
had
so
a
cool.
person at my house. He matter of fact, he's in this movie, The Little Things, that came out last week.
Hey, time for a shameless plug. It's going to take a minute, Ken.
Nope. I got it.
I had just
Here
never
we
told
go.
you guys this, and I thought you'd like to see it. Right out in front of my house. There it is.
Lord, the years have not been good to Ringo.
Oh my God. That's funny, dude.
Thank you for appreciating that.
That's
I did take that because that was the strangest looking, almost prehistoric beetle on my car, and I went out there and I got to take a picture of this thing because it was
It's a stink bug, isn't it?
look at it, man. It's crazy. Go and
Nasty.
show that picture again. It's crazy.
They're nasty, man. Nasty. We get them in our house.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Like this? I thought it looked like something Michael Bay should recreate for a Transformer.
It is.
Seriously. They're
You know?
nasty. And Glenn, you'll be proud of me. I don't let any of them live.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, so that's actually on the roof of my car, and I got in close with my cell phone cam and took that picture.
It's a stink bug.
It is?
You're lucky it didn't spray you.
Oh, come on.
Oh, they're nasty creatures.
They're
Not
beautiful
certified.
children of God, Ken.
They are not beautiful children of God. They're of
Yes,
the
they
devil.
are. Give them a
I'm
break.
gonna
Satan
have a bad
created
dream
those.
about that tonight. I'm telling you, it's
Those are
Ken, you got to be careful, dude, because
I-
karmically you're going to wind up zapped into that kind of body
I burn
when you
them with
follow
a
up this
cross.
earth life, and somebody's going to smash your ass.
Dude, I burn them with a cross. They're nasty little ugh.
And when they come at
Prehistoric.
you with the fire, you're going to be going,
I-
Glenn tried to tell me. He tried to tell me. I'm so sorry.
Sandra says you're not supposed to kill them. I don't like, yeah, you don't crush them because, oh, dear God. I
Right.
grab them with toilet paper and send them on the Tidy Bowl Express. So there's a chance they live, Glenn. See?
if they can swim.
If they can hold
Right.
their breath long enough and make it.
And the fact that you've taken them away from their children doesn't trouble you at all?
They were already away from their children in my house. Their children are probably outside wandering the earth, wondering where in the hell did mom go? Oh, she's in the bowl.
So
So,
when I sent you guys that picture, what I was scanning for actually was a picture of an old quarterback. Seeing as how it is Super Bowl Sunday, I wanted to show you guys a picture of an old quarterback that you may remember. How many of you can remember old school Washington Redskins quarterback? Old school.
We talking Sonny Jurgensen?
That would be the name. I have
Oh, no kidding.
I have a great picture with Sonny Jurgensen that I took about 5 years ago.
wow.
Sonny Jurgensen.
Wow. He was great. I lived in D.C. for a little while, and he also did the color commentary on their football games.
Yes, he still does.
Does he really? I didn't know.
Now he does. Now he does radio.
Yeah, and gosh, he was so good. I mean, it was like it was Tony Romo before Tony Romo, in a sense.
Wow. Cynthia Mannion gave me an angry face. Cynthia, don't be angry. They're stink bugs. They're of the devil.
I was looking for, I couldn't find it, but gosh, do I miss the Far Side? But it was like Glenn when they come back and take over the world, and there was a Far Side cartoon somewhere about, when the dogs come back and take over the world.
Absolutely. Gary Larson is great.
I miss the Far Side.
I sent you another one, Ken. This will be one that you guys appreciate. This was taken at
speaking of quarterbacks,
the center of the field of the Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, this is a great one.
With the great Brad Sham.
Let me share screen.
I love football.
Did you see Charles Coachman? My mom went out on a date with Billy Kilmer after she was doing
Oh, Billy Kilmer was a Redskin.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
There we are on top of the star at the center of the stadium. Nice.
How cool is that?
There's my buddy Joe, and then Brad on my right, and Vance Sparks on my far right there next to Brad.
Wow.
All having a good time at a Cowboy game.
Man,
that's awesome.
That's as good as it gets. I would love to see that stadium sometime, Glenn. Talk about
I'll take you to a ball game when we get over this COVID stuff.
Man, sign me up. I would absolutely. Just from seeing it on television, it just seems like it's just out of this world.
I got so many cool pictures.
Wow. That is really cool.
What time is kickoff? Like an hour after we wrap today?
Yeah.
I think so.
But that gives us time to see, some of the pregame show and, the dinner and all the things. It's so cool.
I got one for you, Scott. Who's the GOAT of NASCAR?
Oh man. Well,
this could actually start a fight with our.
All right. Yeah. Let's talk about NASCAR for a minute since it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, my
Let's
friend,
do it.
We were talking about.
I would love to say my friend Tony Stewart, but it's
is it like Richard Petty?
I think that's who you'd have to say. I mean, they're Dale
Earnhardt, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of folks who'll say Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon in the more recent years.
Yeah.
I almost married Redskin back then. We are still friends. Used to hang out with him and the team for dinner. Wow. Cynthia is a rock star.
So I guess I would say Petty.
Probably.
Talk about a sport that's changed too. I mean, back in the days of Petty and Cale Yarborough and
oh yeah,
all those guys, Bobby Allison. I mean,
when it was real,
those were tough guys. I mean, it's like talking about now somebody taps somebody and it's back then, boy, they just run you off the track and not care. That was just part of.
And they didn't use governors, did they?
No, or lieutenant governors.
Either one. Either one. This next superstar photo I sent you is not from NASCAR, but this is our superstar fan.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm finding a picture. I got to show you guys.
This is a superstar fan. This is Renee.
Oh, Renee.
This is Renee up in Vancouver.
How cool is that?
How about that beautiful backdrop, Scott? You were talking about where Pasadena is.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Look at that backdrop up there.
So beautiful up there. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's at actually Horseshoe Bay, right in Vancouver. And Horseshoe Bay is where the ferries come in and out over to Vancouver Island. It is the most peaceful place on the planet. You want to just go over there, and Renee and I love to go over and get some fish and chips and just sit outside, and I always feed the birds when I'm over there. It's really lovely, and we've been friends now for 20 Wow, 23 years,
Wow.
which is incredible.
Wow.
Are you showing us other photos? See, it's Super Bowl Sunday, guys. Bear with us. It's lax today. We're just chilling.
We're just hanging. Yeah, let's see. I am looking for, and I can't find it.
You know, I have a few.
Let's do it.
Everybody's like, why are we watching them all look at their phones while we're looking at them on their
Because
phones?
it's Super Bowl Sunday.
We're looking at them on our phones, looking at their phones.
It's like a mirror effect, isn't it? That's
It
the
is. It absolutely is.
you hate it when there's a photo that you really want to find and you just can't come up with it.
Well, what I do is if I can remember where it was, then I go to the map section on your photos.
The problem is, for me, the one I'm looking for is Las Vegas, and I've got a gazillion.
I sent you one that'll make you boys smile.
Dang, it's in. It has arrived.
What has arrived?
I heard a ding, so I think he sent you one, and it had landed.
Hold on. I'm trying to find.
I think that's the longest silence we've ever had on the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott.
I think you are
I
exactly
know.
right.
I'm looking
Here's
for
a
one
special
too.
photo to me. That's the first WWE match I ever attended. 2002. Thank
Oh,
you.
nice.
The Wayback Machine. You know, that was so funny. I think I can't remember if I told the story to you guys or not, but I had a speech in Nashville, and a friend of mine was the head of the Nashville Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we were going to get together. Well, then something happens, he gets called out of town, and we can't get together. And he said, "Oh, look at that."
No, go ahead and tell your story, and then I'll get back to the photo. But
Oh,
that's my.
Well, anyway, so he said, "Well, there's something going on across the street at the Bridgestone Arena." He said, "I've got, it's for the Convention and Visitors Bureau. I got tickets." And I said, "Great." I'm thinking it's going to be some great concert or whatever. And he said, "It's WWE." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna, wrestling. I'm not." He said, "It's across the street. It's free. What else? You're." So I go by myself across the street, and there, and I mean, it was one of their Sunday pay-per-views that they did back then. So I mean, Hulk Hogan was on, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and all of the
Absolutely.
of that era, all the greats, and they had a steel cage match, and the guys fight their way in on the top of the steel, and I got hooked, and the reason I got hooked was, and as speakers, we all appreciate this. The way that they took the crowd up to the high and then dropped them down, and the good guy versus the bad guy, and how each match was a story. It was really interesting to me to see the way that they played the crowd, and the crowd knew their role, the fans. It was just really a fun thing to go to. And I finally took Tammy to one here in Las Vegas. And this was several years back when we first came here. And I really thought it was a good idea. And I spent too much money and bought us tickets right up front. And my phone starts blowing up because I have so many friends that see me in the front row. It's the camera in the ring. And I'm like, oh gosh. And I thought it was a really good idea until The Rock came out, and Tammy was about that far from The Rock in his Speedos, and I don't think she's been the same since.
Oh my God.
She realized her husband and The Rock were the same species, but nothing alike.
Hey, dude, the sun is like doing something funky to your camera. Do you see that? There.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go. Got it. Perfect.
So
Perfect.
anyway,
So
I've got
go back to that photo.
picture. Yeah, let's.
That is my brother Brian and I standing together in about 1960. That would have been about 1962.
Wow,
I would have been about 3 years old there.
very cool.
And
Jay
that's my-
Fox just sent me a text. What was the Far Side strip you're looking for? I have every one of them. Wow, and he does. He sent me a picture of it. Gee, many Christmas.
I think it'd be fun to do our pictures one episode. This is kind of cool looking at moments like this. I sent you a couple of football themed photos in honor of the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Here's another one of trying to get there we go. Okay.
That was on my wedding day.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And my brother Brian there was my best man. That was
Very cool.
that was December 30th, 1978.
Wow.
42 years ago.
Wow.
Can you say hair?
Wow.
Oh,
Now I'm going to send you a photograph of a statue here, Ken, that is, but I got to set it up. So you tell me when you're ready to receive it.
You're sending me one now?
Yeah, I'll send you a statue because can you go ahead and show the football stuff that I sent?
Yep. Hang tight. Okay, so
Do not even look at the statue one. Do not look. Those are your instructions.
okay.
Because I want to tell you it's quite humorous. And if you laugh, I'll know you looked at it. So don't look at it.
Well, I have to look at it.
No, you don't. You have to just notice that it's a statue, but don't look at it.
I literally can't do it without looking at it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not
All right. I'm sorry if I came across as being a wee bit controlling there, but there's a reason.
maybe just a tad.
Just a tad. Daddy was a little controlling there.
Not real bad. But I either
So-
I look at it or nobody.
Okay,
looks
so check this out, Scott. I need your attention
Hang
for
on,
this.
I'm not at that one. I'm sharing the first one.
Okay. So that's Coach
Oh.
Morshower,
yeah.
right? I mean, it is Super Bowl Sunday. This is from a film that's getting ready to come out called Under the Stadium Lights.
Ah,
And I played the head coach of the Abilene Eagles, who went 15-0 in 2009 and won the state championship. And that's one of the shots from the movie, which
Wow.
I loved playing a head coach.
man, you look the part, don't you? Holy cow. That's great.
Now let's see if this works, Glenn. Here we go with the statue.
Wait, don't put it up yet.
Oh,
Don't put it up. So we know in life that everything is vantage point. Okay. And if I ever develop a PowerPoint sketch, a PowerPoint presentation, Scott, like you have for a lot of your talks, if I ever do that, I'm going to put this statue in. This is a real statue. Okay. The statue is at Love Field, not DFW, but Love Field, the other airport, the original Dallas airport where Southwest flies in and out of.
Yep.
If you stand at a particular angle, it's all about the angle, but it is a Texas Ranger. And the Texas Ranger he's got his gun drawn in one hand. He's got his hand on the gun, is not drawn yet. And the other hand is telling the person, I got to stand up, is telling the person like, whoa, like, whoa, just hold back. Hand on the pistol, whoa, back. But watch what happens if you stand at a certain angle and shoot the silhouette of the statue, which I did. Here's the statue.
okay. Hang on.
Tell me this is not entertaining.
If I can get this to,
This has not been photoshopped. This is the actual angle available at Dallas Love Field if you know where to stand to photograph the statue. And if you
my-
look, you can see that's actually his hand,
Yeah.
but the angle that it's at.
oh my
I
god,
mean, is that not the funniest thing ever?
that is so
And
funny.
again,
Welcome to Dallas, y'all.
it's one of those. At no point didn't somebody go,
Well, clearly they were only looking at it from the front of the statue. And when you look at the front of the statue, it's harmless. It's just a guy going, easy there, fella. But
Yeah.
you get off to the side and you see a very happy man is what you see.
I am trying to.
things are bigger in Texas.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite photographs that I've taken.
All right, and then Paul Williams sent me one.
Is it Paul getting his ass kicked?
Watch.
Did Paul
Here-
send you a picture of him getting sacked? Oh, wow.
Oh God.
We have a woman referee.
Read the
Female-
ball.
God.
No.
We're not going to get any hate mail for that at all, Ken.
Not at all. No.
None. Nope.
Whatsoever.
Between the photo I sent you and your comment, this might be the last show. So, guys, if you'll remember the show we did on Super Bowl Sunday, it was really nice seeing all of you. We enjoyed our run.
Yeah.
Flag on the play.
On the play. Wow.
So, guys, we got a couple of minutes before we wind down. Any comments that came in today that we need to illuminate before we take off?
You know what? And Karen, your hubby's a ref. I just want to say hi to somebody that was a referee for 4, I think it is, Super Bowls, who watches our show usually on replay. The great Jim Tunney, because when I mentioned Jim to Brad, and Brad Sham just went, best ever.
Yeah.
And Jim saw that, and it just meant the world to Jim. Jim is has celebrated recently. He's in his 90s, and he's just sharp as a tack, one of the greatest guys ever lived. So,
Wow.
Jim,
I
if you're-
remember Jim Tunney, and I remember Jerry Markwright.
Yeah, Jerry Markwright was one of the great ones. So, one of the greatest of all time.
And that was before you had to be in shape. And then all of a sudden, you know who changed it for us?
Ed Hockley.
Yes. Ed Hockley
Yeah.
was now the new, like, you got to have a rockin' physique and then you can do it.
And his son is now a referee. And his
And
son
he's also rocking the physique, isn't he?
Yeah. But Jim was a athlete as well. I mean, but not like a physical specimen, but and Jim was so interesting. He was a high school principal in California, but because of being a referee, he gained the attention of Herb Alpert.
And the Tijuana Brass.
Yep. And Jim ran the Herb Alpert Foundation for many years and did a lot of great stuff for a lot of folks. And just awesome guy.
Is this the sound, Scott?
It's so cool.
It's Super Bowl Sunday, gents.
Super Bowl Sunday.
You guys partying or anything? We're just here alone watching the game.
I probably won't even watch the game.
Really?
So you're the one.
I am.
When they say, 8 out of 10 televisions are tuned to the Super Bowl, I always think, who are those two people?
I'm one of them.
Our buddy Ken Walls.
I have missed the Super Bowl when the Steelers were playing. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we're looking forward to your new book coming out, Antisocial. Hey guys, it's 4:30 here in Central U.S. and I want to go watch pregame stuff. I haven't even had my TV on yet. I saved this afternoon for you guys, but I got to go watch some football.
Okay.
everybody for watching. We will see you at our regular time next week
Next
with
week.
a special guest.
Who we will not be announcing, but I do want to get this plug in real quickly before you take us out, Scott. Tuesday night might very well be my favorite episode of The Resident we've ever done in 4 seasons. So this Tuesday night, it's certainly the biggest one and the longest shoot for me. I was there a long time doing that episode, but that'll be this Tuesday night. That's the 5th episode of our season. Check it out Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific time on Fox Television.
Glad you said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to send you a reminder, Scotto.
I want to plug.
I was thinking that earlier today and I forgot to bring it up. I'm sorry, Ken. You're plugging.
I want to plug Glenn and my show this week because Tuesday I have the great Brad Leland on the show, who was he was in Friday Night Lights and a lot of other things. And then on Wednesday, I have John Schneider's wife, Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard, that again we met because of Glenn, and so his wife will be on my show on Wednesday. Alicia.
Wednesday of the same week, this week?
Yeah, Tuesday
Awesome.
I have Brad Leland. Wednesday I have Alicia, which is phenomenal because didn't she run one of the major movie production?
Oh, yeah, she's a very successful gal.
Yeah, she seems
So 2 successful people, she and John fell in love.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing. And
Amazing.
and of course, Brad has a big movie opening later in the week called Land
yeah, on the
with
11th.
Robin Wright, who I believe directed the
Yeah.
movie.
That you directed.
Yeah,
So good
Pretty
for you,
exciting.
Bradley. We're rooting for you, brother, to have a big opening week. We certainly did well with the little things, and you know that I'm wishing you the best, brother. Looking forward to seeing your performance in that movie.
yes, likewise. All right, we will see you guys all next Sunday.
Yeah, this week I'll be at the suburban Las Vegas Starbucks drinking a latte, and that's it. So
That's what it's like with a guy named Scott.
it is.
Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in with us this
See you
week.
guys.
Have a great Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. We'll see you next week at the regular time with a very special guest on the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. Good night.
See you guys.